Hey, it's me, I'm on the edge of my seat here, back again with another brand new video. So here I am just gonna no damage all the boss fights in Yakuza 0! Yes, Yakuza 0, and here is Kuze, who I think is probably like one of the best first fights in any of the Yakuza games. I might go as far to say he's probably the best like beginning fight of any of the Yakuza games. Such a strong start, like Yakuza 1 had like, I don't know, some punk, the dude who kind of says, excuse you? No, F-word you. Yakuza 2 had Daigo, you know, Daigo's like a cool guy and all, but his boss fight kind of sucks, dog. And, well, I mean, I could go on and on, but like, I think this is probably the best beginning fight. And when you're playing on like the first new game, he's actually somewhat like difficult to get to, but I'm playing on New Game Plus, so as you're gonna see here, he does not last at all. Look, oh, look at it, oh, yeah, look at that, bro. He's dead, man. It was only been a minute, but yeah. So Yakuza 0 on New Game Plus, you are decked out, man. Like, most fights will not take longer than like a minute, aside from a few exceptions near the end. But yeah, Rush for Kiryu is kind of my go-to style just because I love the dodge canceling you can do once you're fully upgraded and all that. And also for all of Kiryu's fights, I've equipped the, forgot the name of the item, but it's like the style switching jacket, because I'm just kind of surprised it didn't make it one of the like mandatory like upgrade things on your tree, because it is so much fun to use. It feels like a thing you would unlock from the upgrades. It doesn't really feel like just some random item. Like, I would feel really naked if I did not use that item. You're just like attacking with Rush, then immediately switching to like Beast or Brawler or whatever. It's just, oh, so smooth, so smooth. So yeah, Oda here, he's a bit of a challenging fight just because he's using a weapon. He's a bit of a wimp, and also he likes to kind of exit out of attacks and all that. So I have to be a little careful with him. However, a little Dragon Engine stuff happens here. Oh, there he goes. And here we go with Majima's first boss fight. And yeah, he's somewhat easy. Kind of weird how they only gave him 1 health bar when Kiryu's first fight had 2. To be fair, like Majima, in the beginning at the very least, doesn't deal as much damage as Kiryu does normally. But, you know, still. Only 1 health bar? I mean, man, come on. Oh, and there we go. There goes with Majima and his parry, which you can only do when you're on the 3rd heat bar, which is a little strange, but I kind of like it. It makes it like less overpowered than say like a tiger drop or whatnot. You can just kind of spam relentlessly. Now for Majima, I'm mostly going to be using his thug style of combat, because using Breaker, I don't really find it all that fun. And the bat, it would be really good if you could dodge cancel, but you get stuck in those animations and enemies, like, you know, you do have super armor, which means you can just attack without being interrupted, but you're still taking damage, and in a no damage run, that's just not going to work. Also, I included this little fight because this dude got a gun, you know, and that must make him somewhat important, even though he's basically just a mook. I didn't even know his name until I made this video about Oishi. Oishi? Man, come on. And now, here is one of the only Kiryu fights that's not Kuze, it's Okabe. And here I decided to use Legend style for its crowd control capabilities. Those grab combos, very useful. So yeah, Okabe is just kind of copying that one dude in 5, the one boxer, red dude, and yeah, it's kind of lame. Now this fight definitely feels like it's more there just to insert a little group fight, even though one of the later Kuze fights is also a group fight. But hey, you know, get it in there early. It's also the only main story fight where they play that one theme that plays when you're doing all the real estate boss fights. It's a great theme. I'm glad that it's here. You know, just a little thing. And now here is the second Kuze fight, which has one of the best intros, which I did not include because I had to retry. I took damage on that first attempt. He is also very easy. Like, oh man, this dude doesn't even last a minute. Like, look at this. This is how OP like the dodge cancel in Yakuza 0 is. In Kiwami 1, they kind of nerfed it where you can't really do what I'm doing now, just doing full combos after each dodge cancel. You have to like tap them out and then stun them and then switch to another style to do anything. But here, nope, Rush is fully efficient on its own. Just get them into a corner, just there we go. And now, oh, here's Oishi again. He has a gun now, so I included him again, but he's gonna go down easily as well. And here I actually am gonna demonstrate just how OP Breaker is. Now here I'm just trying to bait out a gun attack because that is one of the only things that could harm me while I'm trying to do a breaker thing, just kind of breakdance and suddenly get shot. Nah, I gotta wait for him to do it and then we're gonna just go there. Look at that. How are they gonna defend against it? They can't. They can't. And here I try to do that one heat action where you snap their neck, but they have a weapon, so despite being behind them, I just take their weapon. And now here's the second Lee fight, and thankfully he has a little bit more meat to him now, but he's still gonna go down pretty quick. I don't know, one thing I really love about Majima's thug style of combat is just doing that full like combo, doing the kick, and then immediately going into a quick step attack, just keeping that momentum flowing. It's fast, it's quick, it's precise. Dope stuff. He's still pretty easy though, but hey, I mean for Majima's first fight, you know, I mean, I guess it's alright, but you know, like his attacks are pretty slow, you can get behind him like pretty easily, so I mean, you know, but then again, this is the second time we're fighting him, so I mean, you know, yeah. Now, okay, here's Nishitani. It's a grand shame that he gets like the basic boss fight theme, which ain't a bad theme in itself, but I just don't think it fits his character, because in the climax battles, they actually play like that theme that plays when you're doing the Majima's tutorial in the beginning, and that's great. Because you're in the grand, this is the band, it's great time, but nah, they're just kind of playing that standard theme, and it's like, oh, okay. But, you know, this setting's really dope. I mean, you know, you got to fight the tutorial guy here, and now you get to fight an actual boss fight. Dope. And yeah, Nishitani is kind of like the Majima of the game, but to be fair, he isn't nearly as insane as some of those previous Majima fights, just because I don't think Majima's thug style is going to be able to keep up with that. But yeah, he's a pretty fun fight, but he does tend to be quite dodgy, so you definitely got to like watch out, because he can definitely like kind of dodge, get a hit in, and that's especially true for his second fight, which I'll get to. And here I thought I was going to do something clever with the bat, but that just never ended up happening. And yeah, I guess one annoying thing about Nishitani is I do a full combo and then my quick step attack just does not land. Look at that. Just complete miss. What a shame. I do like ending the fight with that little Superman punch though. And here is the Dojima family. I just thought I'd include them because, I don't know, they seemed important. They're over for Kuze. It's a lot of guys. Yeah, they'll be back. So yeah, crowd control. Crowd control is key, and rush is very useful with this. Like replaying Yakuza 0 New Game Plus, there were a few things that I kind of appreciate more about the other games when doing these like no damage runs. The boss fights, you know, had a little bit more meat to them. You weren't nearly as OP. However, I mean, despite Yakuza 0's difficulty, easiness, I do think the combat is definitely still better. Just because managing crowds is just so much more fun in 0 than the other games. I mean, yeah, some of the styles might be a little broken, a breaker, but like stuff like Rush, Beast, like Thug, it's just, ooh, it just flows smooth. Yeah, I made a video on that. I don't know, maybe y'all can watch it. And now here is the third Kuze fight, and I learned a new little thing when it comes to managing the motorcycle with the Beast style. Now usually that's a great way to take out enemies, but you could get hit in the middle of it. So what I do, instead of pressing the square button, I press the triangle button. Because apparently the heavy attack with the motorcycle, it like creates a wall in front of you or whatever, and you just don't get hit. Because like enemies who are just in your path go down. The issue with like its light attacks is that you do these wide swings where the enemy could like get a quick jab at you and just like clip you. But like with that like heavy attack, you just go forward like woo, and then you just don't get hit, which is very useful, and I'm glad I learned it. And with this Kuze QT, I missed that last one just because it's cool. And I love that dodge canceling. I kind of prefer this dodge canceling over Kiwami 1's dodge canceling, but then again, Kiwami 1's rush is still pretty OP. Like, I mean, it's gonna be fun to no damage that game too, but I don't know if I want to do that recently though. I don't know about that. And here are the Coliseum fights. They're mostly a bunch of chumps. I don't know, like these first two guys, not really much to say. They're just kind of a bunch of chumps. I don't know, Ginger Chapman. I don't know, he's kind of a chump. Ooh, I guess another thing I do love about Majima's combat is just kind of doing the full combo, quick step attack, and then going for that kick, just to kind of keep him down. That little quick, like little, just smooth, quick momentum. Let's go. Oh, and then there's the lovely quick combo, quick step, heat action combo, which I don't do all the time because it does a lot of damage. You know, I don't want these fights to go down that fast. But this guy's being annoying. He's kind of blocking like a Yakuza 3 dude, so I just gotta put him down quick. And this guy, from my knowledge, is a Rikia clone from Yakuza 3, and I do not like the Rikia fight in Yakuza 3. And I don't like this fight either. He's just very annoying to deal with. He doesn't feel fun to like counter him because he usually just ends up blocking most of your attacks like Rikia. Like Yakuza 3 gets a bad rep for like, I don't know, enemies blocking, and I do think that's like way exaggerated and people just are bad at the game. But like Rikia is like an exception to like all those blocking guys. That guy does not stop blocking. It is so annoying to deal with Rikia in Yakuza 3, especially early game. I hate that guy. I don't care how good he is in the story, man. He is such a crappy boss. And I think his fight moveset is even worse here, because at least in Yakuza 3, once you have the Kamaki parry, there's ways to like bait it out. But like here, you can't really bait out anything, because he doesn't do that like dodge thing that Rikiya does, that like makes it easy to bait out. He just has its moves that just come out immediately, and also he blocks all the time. Just the worst aspects of Rikiya. Anyway, here's the second Nishitani fight, which he has more health, there's a little bit more going on, but sadly the arena is not as cool. It's prison. So I mean, this is definitely a better fight. He's a little more aggressive, like you can't really spam him as much because I think it's a new attack, or maybe one that just didn't appear in the first fight as much, but yeah, he's like a little bit more defensive now, so you gotta be careful, you gotta time your strikes better. But oh, there's a little missed kick, shame. But yeah, like the first arena is just a lot cooler. Yeah, and also this QTE doesn't make sense anymore. Like, at least in the first arena, the Grand, you know, it's a big space. I mean, you know, they could throw that knife up real far. But here, how big is this jail cell anyways? That knife would get down a lot quicker than it did. Oh yeah, I guess here's one thing I don't like. When you have full heat, like these QTEs do a lot more damage. Oh well. Also, I kind of wish there was a way that once you're fully upgraded, you could just turn off certain upgrades for like challenge runs or whatever. Like turning off maybe all the power upgrades or power and health upgrades, and keeping all the other upgrades. Like that'd be great. I don't know. Like I mean, that'd just be a great thing to have in most games. But here, no. But here's a good finish with the QTE, and we are done. And here comes Sera, one of definitely the most unique boss in the game, because you can't really attack him. He is a counter fighter. Whatever you do, he'll just come up with that little kick and get you. However, he is also very predictable, which means I can just quick step attack him over and over and over again until he dies. Now, ideally, I wouldn't want to be only doing this quick step attack. Like the thing I'm doing is I'm doing a bunch of quick step attacks to like kind of set him up for a full combo behind his back. However, in this fight, sadly, that didn't happen much. Like I try, but he turns around too quick or whatever. Shame, but this QT does enough damage to kind of negate any time wasted on just doing quick step attacks. Look at that. Ridiculous damage. Look at that. This is a nuke. And also, Sera's probably got the coolest heat aura out of any of the boss fights in the game. Purple, pink, it's rad. It's cool. And there we go, full combo. That's what I want to be doing more often, but hey, I did it once and that's good. Let's end it with Superman Punch and let's move on. Here's your team up with Nishiki. You met up with your brother again. Wish this fight was a little bit more epic instead of just like 4 dudes copying movesets from other boss fights. You know, you met up with your brother. I thought they'd give you a better boss fight, but whatever. Still pretty rad. Just wish there was like a unique theme to it instead of it just being your combat styles theme. Because I would love to use Legend, because that like theme would fit this fight a lot. But Legend against these 4 dudes is just a pain in the ass. So I just decided to use these styles, which just give me a lot more versatility and movement and all that. Because the thing about Legend and Yakuza 0 is that it kind of blows in comparison to what it's copying, Yakuza 5's like Legend style. Because, you know, Kiryu's young, he isn't as experienced, so there's a few downsides to the Legend style in Yakuza 0. Number one, it's mapped to the speed of the gear systems, which for the other styles aren't really all that bad, but for Legend, it's so slow. But like for Rush, Brawler, Beast, like that, like gear system doesn't really like hamper you all that much, but it hampers the Legend style a ton. And also you don't have quick step attack, which is one of your most useful attacks for Dragon style. Shame. And now here's the 4th fight with Kuze. So yeah, definitely need to get on my crowd control game. But one weird thing about the look at that quick style change, smooth, effective, nice. the double hitter. Let's go. But yeah, one weird thing about this fight is that Kuze just kind of waits his turn while I beat up his friends, which I appreciate. You know, just stand there, don't do nothing. You know, just keep standing there. You know. But you know, I really appreciate it though, because I do need to take out these other guys before tackling Kuze. Ooh, and I love that little quick save where the dude almost hit me, but he did it. Ooh. Okay, now Kuze's actually ready to fight. So now that Kuze is all alone, I gotta say, I wish Nishiki would just back off, because, like, I know how to abuse this guy, but Nishiki's constant, like, little helps are just interrupting how I abuse Kuze. Which, hey, maybe that's some game balancing or whatever. But I don't know, man, Nishiki. Maybe you should have not come. I mean, like, look at that. I'm trying to hit him. Like, Nishiki grabs him. I'm trying to hit him. Alright, cool. Hit him. But then Nishiki gets in the way. And now Kuze goes back into attack mode. What a shame. And now I'm trying to attack. Kuze turns around. Knocks my dude over. Now, okay, here we go. But, okay, this one was really helpful. Here we go. Boom. Heat action. 1 health bar left. Now, I really appreciate if Nishiki would just stop knocking Kuze over, because that's not how I do it. And then I'm trying to hit him, but Kuze's in the middle of his, like, getting out attack, so it kind of feels like you're hitting a brick wall. And it's gonna happen. And yeah, look at that. But yeah, Nishiki is really on top of his game in this fight, though. I mean, he's doing some pretty good damage. Well, not damage, but he's doing some pretty good knockdowns to Kuze. And there we go, just the getting out animation again. Ooh, that hit actually hit. And we're gonna end this fight by throwing Kuze to the trash. And here we go, Kashiwagi, which sadly is a copy of a fight in Yakuza 3. I think he has like maybe one or two more moves which are like unique to him, but he's basically just a copy of Joji in 3. And like canonically it makes sense, you know, because he was raised by like Joji's brothers, so maybe they'd have the same like fighting style, but still kind of lame. But this fighting style does definitely fits Kashiwagi and how much of a beast he was in the 80s. However, with like Kashiwagi without heat, he ain't all that bad. I don't know, usually attacking him after he's done with the attack, he'll just block most of the hits, so that final hit, hits. Yeah, like that. Like, no biggie, just kind of wait for him to do an attack, and go for it. No harm done. And then look at that, ooh, almost a perfect bound. But we're just going to make up for that perfect bound by doing a heat action. Let's go. Man, that QTE whack as hell, man. That's like straight up a second, bro. If you do not hit it in a second, you are dead. But anyways, I'm just not going to deal with Kashiwagi's heat mode because I don't know what that's going to entail. I'm just going to end them with a bat heat action. Let's go. And here's the Nishiki fight. And poor Nishiki, I really lay into him. Like, I can understand, like, you know, making an effort to, like, stand up for your bro, but, man, I don't know, maybe you should have sat this one out, because, man, look what I do to him. He just gets abused. Ooh, that grab. He loves doing that grab, which ends up being his downfall in the end. Like, pretty much, like the two moves he just loves to spam is that grab and the little counter move. Like, look at that. Grab, and then I'm going to go for a combo. He's gonna go for the grab, I'm gonna go for a combo. He's gonna go for the grab, I'm gonna go for the combo. He's gonna go for the grab. I'm gonna go for the combo. Except that last hit he decides to counter, but I'm gonna go for the combo anyways. Oh, he's going for the counter. Bait. Go for the combo. Oh, but he's not dead yet because his QTE hasn't activated yet. Might as well get it a hit in so he can activate that QTE. There we go. And yeah, this fight's practically over. He's never gonna get his health drink. And down like a sack of bricks. And here is the Dojima family again. And here I'm going to demonstrate just how broken Breaker is once again when it comes to crowds. Like, that might not be all that impressive, but look what happens now. Here we go. It's the OP combo. Watch as everyone just disintegrates into money. Ooh, 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 look at that. And then it's going to get even worse. Look at this. Woo! Look at that. Wow. Yeah, I'm very good at video games if you haven't noticed. I do wish they used a more dramatic track for this level because it's an emotional set piece. I don't really think that like the badass like combat track really fits. I think something more like Awano's theme would be more appropriate. Like, I don't know, Awano's theme is all sorrowful and stuff. This is a sorrowful moment. He's fighting because he thinks that, you know, she might be dead, bro. Like, what's going on here? What's with the badass track? But yeah, anyways, after the fat dude shows up, you can't really use Breaker anymore because that's just gonna drop kick you while you're in the middle of your breakdancing. So I switch to Thug, go into my crowd control capabilities, dodge canceling. Let's go. Ooh, yeah, that dude's always on the prowl. You gotta watch out. And just like that, perfect. Boom. And then we're gonna end it with 2 stomps. Let's go. And now it's the final fight with Kuze, which has a great like final theme. It's the sorrowful Kuze fight. And I also learned a funny little thing about like boss fights turning around. So here, once I countered his hit, I was able to perfectly like just like kind of gangbang his back there. However, I end up doing a mistake which makes this fight kind of drag on a little longer than it deserves. I countered that move. The thing about that move is that it's in the middle of his combo. So I think the way the enemy AI works is that if you like parry a move that's in the middle of his combo, like his first instinct when he has his back to you is to turn around because he's still in the middle of his combo. However, if you parry a move that's like at the end of his combo is finished, so that when you parry him, I don't think his first instinct is going to be to turn around, which means you can kind of like do that parry thing. See like that right now. However, the QC interrupts me, but I probably could have kept that going for a lot longer. So yeah, it's kind of a neat little thing I learned while in the middle of this fight. I don't think I learned it at that exact moment. I learned it a little after this QTE right here. I love me that music sync up. The moment he drops, the beat drops. Let's go. But yeah, I did not learn my lesson at this point. I still thought that, oh, I'll just parry the middle of his combo and it'll be good, right? Nah, no, not really. However, the thing to learn is that this is only with most boss fights. Some of those final ones, this doesn't even apply because they'll just turn around no matter what you do because they're just kind of cunts like that. And oh boy, here is Awano, who is just copying a moveset from Yakuza 5. Why is Yakuza 0 doing this? This kind of set a bad precedent, which the Kiwami games would make even worse, but whatever. So yeah, Awano's just a moveset just recycling a moveset from Yakuza 5, except that 1 or 2 of like that original's moves are changed. Like, I don't know, instead of doing that long like run and kick, which the dude in 5 does, he just kind of does Kiryu's like drop kick thing. Ooh, look at that, perfect bound. Full combo, slam into wall, full combo on the wall. Beautiful. And here Awano tries to do the same thing, but I dodge it with the QTE. And now Awano in heat mode is nearly impossible to deal with because he's in heat mode. Really, only your first hit stuns him. After that, he is completely invincible. And you know, Thug's dodging capabilities are pretty resourceful, but not resourceful enough to kind of go toe-to-toe with Awano in heat mode. So I'm gonna do the thing which you can kind of do to screw most boss fights over as Majima, except I kind of screwed it up there. And I'm definitely going to be doing it to Lao Gui, because Lao Gui does not play nice. So pretty much what you do is once you're on the second bar, you can do this thing with Breaker where you kind of dodge into the enemy, then grab to kind of do a little heel kick, turn, and there we go. Look at that. And I'm going to end this fight by just doing a little heat. Very nice. And now here's Lao Gui, who is very hard to attack up front, so I go for a little bit more defensive strategies. Get that cheeky taunt in there, and now go for the sofa. So yeah, Lao Gui has like 3 phases, but I just kind of skipped the first 2 just because I don't feel like dealing with them. They are they're kind of painful to deal with Majima's like moveset. You feel it's a little limited. Like, this bat is immensely useful. Just do this heat action, which puts you at the second bar, then do the dancing thing, which you know, deals a little extra damage. Then once you have a 3rd health bar, you can do a heat move with Thug. And what I do here is, once I do that, I immediately go to stomp him to get another 2nd health bar, so I can just keep doing that over and over. You're gonna see it play out, and it is very nice. Like, once he reaches halfway of his yellow bar, he just switches into his 3rd phase, but we're not going to enter his 3rd phase with like 2 health bars. Now we're going to enter the 3rd phase with less than 1. So let's go. You know, it's real cool that he has a sword and a gun, but I'm just going to ignore all that if that's alright. Now his 3rd phase, the hand-to-hand phase, where he gets this really cool red aura, which all the enemies in Yakuza 6 and Kiwami 2 steal for their heat auras, but yeah, that's a whole other conversation. I made a video on that maybe, I don't know. But like, this phase is a little more manageable than the other phases. I'm able to get a few more combos on him. Just like, 'cause the other phases, he has a sword and a gun and a little wider reach, so, you know. However, the hand-to-hand phase is still nothing to be trifled with. He still has some pretty long combos. And he loves to dodge in this phase. It's like his rush style. But anyways, I knocked him down, so it's all good. And now here's the final boss of the game, Shibusawa, which is one of my favorite final boss fights. So this first phase, well, okay, to be fair, all the phases, I just kind of use Rush, because Rush is Kino in Yakuza 0. But here, I'm just trying to spam his back, but he's getting a little dodgy. However, I do a little bit of wall bounding, and it all ends up being good in the end. Look at that. Woo! I miss a kick, and we enter into the next phase. And now here is his heavy style. Now the cool thing to do would be for every fight you have against him to kind of match the style that he's mimicking. However, what I do is I just mostly use Rush because Rush is Kino and I like it a lot. However, for heavy, you just kind of end up tapping him with rush, so I'm using some of the other styles just to get a little more damage in here, especially with these beast throws. Look at that. Boom! Look at that. Amazing. Now, the lovely thing about him grabbing this table is that once he's done with that combo, he has an extended, like, screaming period, which allows me to actually, like, deal a full combo. And I get to punch him into the next phase. And now this phase is kind of a pain in the ass in that you can't really do that like rush spam that I do to Kuze, because he always turns around when you parry him, and when you're attacking him from behind, he always turns around. And also I was trying to do a little thing where I would get close to him, switch to Beast, get a combo, and then immediately switch to rush back, but it didn't really end up going anywhere. So instead, one reliable way to like deal with Shibusawa, which I learned some way into my attempt here, is to just parry his attack, kind of do like an almost full combo, pretty much like just press square until you do the kick, and that will deal damage, and you'll be relatively safe, because you can just immediately dodge after the kick, and it works. However, I get a little scared and I don't do the kick until later. Yeah, like that. Just keep doing that, and that's a relatively like safe way to tackle this fight, as long as you know you got the parry timings down. But Shibusawa's attacks here all have huge telegraphs, especially with all those heat flames. Once again, dope ass heat aura, which all the enemies in Yakuza 6 are going to steal or whatever. Get a heat move in there for a little more action, a little more damage. And also those beast stomps. Look at that. Ooh, we gotta get that health bar down. But yeah, Shibusawa, dope fight. Not as dope as the one from Ishin, but Ishin, you know, not translated yet, so well, what can you do? I did play it, but not everyone's played it. It's so Amon. I hate this fight. Ugh. I do love how this fight always starts off with him throwing that laser. Kind of found it hard to deal with, but what I found out is if I just run up to him with Rush and then immediately grab him with Beast, and immediately grab him with Beast, I can do the Beast spam. What is the Beast spam? Well, for the next minute or two, you're going to see exactly what the Beast spam is. So a little error in Kiwami Yakuza 0's like balancing is that, so Beast has this move called the Bear Hug. It's that move right there, right? That move depletes heat. Cool. So, you know, I mean, once you deplete heat, it can only be done on the third bar. So, you know, okay, once that move's over, what can you even do? Well, you have another move called this move. You can just dodge, grab the enemy. However, that move increases heat. So pretty much what you can do is just spam enemies and boss fights just by bear hug, grabbing them like that, which immediately gives you the heat to do another bear hug, and just kind of do that over and over. Now, I don't do this with any of the boss fights in the story because it's just a really cheap way to win, and I just prefer Rush. However, this guy's an asshole. This guy with a cannon, he just shoots cannons, like their splash damage is just unpredictable. It is an awful fight, and I hate it so much. And also, he's just an asshole, so I'm just kind of doing it to him until we reach a second phase, where we go into another kind of misery. But yeah, there's just no no other fun way to deal with a cannon phase. Like, you have to do this, because I just don't see how you can no damage this fight without. And here, I screw up and he goes into shooting those cannons, but thankfully those cannons just kind of went all over the place and did not go anywhere near my character, so I just grabbed them with Beast again and kind of put him down. Now, I've mentioned before that I did use items like the style switching jacket for the boss fights. However, here, I'm using more items than that. I'm using the Berserker Jam, which increases your heat in a pinch. I have no idea what that means. I just think it means that you get more heat when you deal damage or whatever the hell. And the Herculean Gloves, which like make your grabs better or something. I don't know. The reality is these items didn't really help all that much in this fight besides just getting more bear hugs. Like, I would have loved to have a better item, but just in my inventory at the moment, I just didn't have any like big cool items like the payback ring, or for whatever reason I just did not have those items, and I just did not feel like grinding my ass off to get those items just for these couple of boss fights, so I just kind of went through it. Now this phase is just a massive gimmick. It's not even that hard. It's just that it takes a long ass time because this guy has a lot of health, and it's just mostly just running around waiting to get that item which makes you invincible, so that those chairs and furniture don't like kill you, and so that the boss fight like attacks don't harm you. And well, the most effective way to deal with it is just like tiger dropping. Well, it's not really called a tiger drop when you have a brawler style, it's called a counter hook. Just like counter hooking all his hits. This is how you deal the most damage. Like, I'm sure there's other ways to attack him, but he mostly just blocks your attacks. So like, you know, spamming it with Rush, not really gonna work. He's gonna block most of your hits. Doing a combo with him, not really gonna work. He's just gonna block most of your hits. Beast style, he'll end up just dodging most of your hits when he goes running after the item. So really, the cost-effective way, which still takes a long ass time, especially since I didn't get drunk. I don't know. Like, I think if you get drunk in this game, you deal more damage. But while I was doing these fights, I must have been a little too stubborn to get drunk. I kind of wish I did though, because this fight takes forever. But yeah, pretty much get the invincibility item, counter hook his attacks a bunch of times, and just try to get the item before he gets it. Because when he gets it, you're just gonna have to run around and hope the furniture doesn't kill you. You know, like, I mean, it's neat. I mean, it's not boring like I don't know, Amon. I'll get to him when we get to him, but. Like, you know, it's like a fun, creative little thing. You know, got the helicopter shooting down the furniture from the final boss. It's a neat reuse of assets, just that the fight's boring. I guess on an unrelated note, the helicopter that shows up in Chapter 16 reminds me a lot of the helicopter model from Metal Gear Solid 4. So I don't know if like they were taking inspiration from those assets. I mean, they're both PS3 games, but hey, it is that. And now here's Amon, and you fight him as Majima. Now, what's lame about this fight? It's just Kiryu and Majima's legend styles in one fight, which is a shame because the Amon in Yakuza 5 was just already using Kiryu's fighting style. Now here he is doing it again. I guess making two Amon fights, I guess they really ran out of materials on how to reuse stuff cleverly. However, this, fighting him as Majima, it's kind of neat. However, just that there really aren't that many openings to Amon. Pretty much the only real way to like attack him is kind of wait for him to do that full combo. That like full combo, like that one, dodge once and then do a full combo there. As long as your positioning isn't completely screwed up, you'll deal a full combo, and that's very nice. And also, there's a little heat action you can do when you do the full combo that makes things a lot more manageable. You can also like counter some of those like other hits he does, but like what's the point? You might as well just wait for like the full combo just to deal like that full combo damage. But it does take a while for him to open up and actually do that one attack, which you can like exploit. You just kind of keep spamming these, dodging, and it's just like, man, can you just shut up and do your thing already? Like, come on. Yeah, do that thing. So yeah, once you do that, you can just go in and steal his knife. Now, what you do with this knife will decide how this fight goes, because if you screw up, you might as well just kill yourself. So yeah, pretty much we have to do that heat action, throw the knife for massive damage, and then here we are. We are about to reach his second phase. I just need to do one more full combo, and you'll see what happens. And now we have reached Majima's knife phase. So I'm going to switch to Majima's knife phase 2 because this phase sucks ass. Amon is completely invincible in this phase. You can't get any combos. There's no exploiting a good like dodge. There's no like dodging to his back. There's nothing. This dude is just completely invincible. So what I do is I use the Mad Dog counter because it's the best counter in the game. Because pretty much once you counter an enemy, it leaves them like stunned and defenseless. It isn't like the Tiger Drop where you could like land one and the enemy might still be attacking. It just immediately stops their momentum completely and just kind of leaves them on the ground for a bit. It's extremely useful. Like Breaker also has a counter, but it leaves you exposed for a stupid amount of time, and the enemy will probably just get another attack in while you're still recovering from that counter. Like there is a way to like beat the knife phase without the counter, but it's a pain in the ass and I'm just not going to deal with it. It pretty much just involves doing that like breaker, second heat bar, like dodge and grab thing, but it's kind of finicky to do and I'm just not going to bother with it. Like design a better boss fight, bro. I'm not going to fight this invincible dude, bro. Like get out of here. Actually make a fun fight if you want me to like actually play the game, bro. Like man, get out of here. So yeah, anyway, that's my video, the Yakuza Kenzan video. There are words and there is a script, and it is over a page at the moment. It will get many more pages in the days to come, but yeah, alright, I guess I'll see you then. Bye.